Hey guys, welcome back to the video. In this video, guys, my spoiler-free review for Netflix's Spiderhead. Two inmates form a connection while grappling with their past in a state-of-the-art penitentiary run by the brilliant visionary who experiments on his subjects with mind-altering drugs. So like I said before, Spiderhead is Netflix's newest movie. It stars Miles Teller and Chris Hemsworth, and in my opinion, it is a good movie, but it has some flaws that are just too fatal to kind of look over. But I want to start off by talking about this absolutely awesome story. Now, definitely there are some writing flaws, which I'll get into later in this video, but I absolutely love this future society and sci-fi vibes of this entire story. It has those vibes of you have this futuristic technology, and then you have certain evil characters, you have good characters escaping, all that kind of stuff. It's a basic story overall, but I thought that the twists were really well done, and overall it's just a really cool and unique concept. Like I'm saying, the story itself is basic. Like, okay, they're trying to revolt against this evil dude, he has a plan that no one knows about, they find out about the plan, blah, blah, blah. It's a fairly basic story as a whole, but when you look at individual elements of it, I think it's really cool, like especially the conceptual ideas of all of it. There's like this pack that basically injects different drugs into them, and now those are the drugs that they're experimenting on, and then there's a bunch of different twists, turns, character moments, all these really cool things that I absolutely love about this movie, and as a whole, everything just adds on top of one another really well. You have these great small character moments. As a whole, I love to say it, this story is basic, but the small elements make it something so much more unique than you'd think it is on the baseline. But my biggest issue with the story, and it's not necessarily the concepts itself, it's just writing wise, and it is the fact that the final act is just very mediocre. Some might even call it bad. I think it's borderline bad, but it's definitely mediocre 100%. But this movie, it all flows throughout, and I like that a lot because the tone is very consistent throughout acts 1 and 2. But once we get to the third act, it is absolutely horrible how the tone changes, and it definitely changes for the worst. You have this serious and offsetting tone for like 90% of this movie, and then there's the last like 15 minutes where it's absolutely horrible. The biggest thing with this is just the writing. There are so many ups and downs with the writing in this film. There's great character moments between Miles Teller's character and then his love interest, and I really love the way that they play out the suspense of this entire place, and the writing does a great job of helping us explore not only the characters but also this penitentiary setting that we're in. I think the way that they express this whole idea and this pumping the people full of drugs, this experiment, and then how they handle the revelations and whenever characters find out certain things, the way that they pace that all throughout this movie is really well done. Obviously, that's props to this writing, but I expected a better outcome as a whole, and I think that's why I don't like the final act that much. Number one, it's a huge tone switch. Whether it's like the score or just the tones overall, I definitely do think that it's just the outcome of this movie that's very rushed, and it feels like it's not really a solid outcome for how much this movie really built up over its runtime. This movie overall felt like it did a great job of slowly building up these different pieces, kind of letting the audience learn a little bit at a time as our main character learns a little bit more at a time, and it feels like everything is flowing very well. And then you get to the final act, and everything feels, number one, not only rushed, but it feels completely different from the movie that were watching previously. Writing-wise, the characters in this movie are also great. Again, it's just that big outcome in the final act that I'm not the biggest fan of, and how they switch the tone so much. But character-wise, the writing was great, and also the performances are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you have Miles Teller and Chris Hemsworth. They are both great. Miles Teller is good as always. Chris Hemsworth is perfect in his role. He's scary, he's unsettling, he's cynical, and he's just all out evil, and it works here. And I love the dynamic between his character and Miles Teller's character, and I also love the mystery they build around Chris Hemsworth's character. You can definitely tell those cliche vibes of, okay, he's just an evil scientist who wants to do this and this, he wants to do this company, he wants to do that. It's basic at times, but it really works here. I think Hemsworth does a great job in this role. Now, stylistically and visually, this movie is also great. Directing wise, Joe Kosinski does a great job here. I definitely think that the lighting is one of the best parts in terms of visuals of this movie. It is so well done, and it really just kind of gives you these eerie vibes of this entire penitentiary, and I love the way that they kind of build this environment around us. So as a whole, Spiderhead has a great concept behind it, and for the most part, it executes on it well enough. It has some really great twists, but the final act feels like it takes that all away with the rushed and cheap story ending. The performances are easily some of the best parts of the film, and if you enjoy weirdly conceptual movies, this is one for you. Overall, I'm going to give Netflix's Spiderhead a 7 out of 10. If you've seen or want to check out Netflix's Spiderhead, let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.